Hello everyone, welcome to the sixth module on emerging trends in land governance. We will begin with this module with a session on digitization and modernization of land records. Now imagine this. You are a young professional who has just decided to invest in a piece of land to build your dream home. After months of searching, you find a beautiful plot in a developing area. You verify the title deed provided by the seller, finalize the transaction, and proudly register your name as the new owner. But soon after, a neighbor claims that a part of your land encroaches on their property. It turns out that the boundary of your plot is under litigation and the dispute has been ongoing for years. Unfortunately, you were not aware of this because the traditional land records did not show any such clarity to you. Now you are stuck in a legal battle, spending time, money, and energy on something that could have been avoided. Let's imagine a different scenario. Before purchasing the same plot, you log into a government portal where you can access digital land record for that particular property. The record not only shows the ownership history but also highlights any dispute, encumbrances, or litigations associated with the same plot. Armed with this information, you decide to avoid the risky purchase or negotiate with the seller to resolve these issues first, and then you can think of buying the plot. This is the transformative potential of digitizing and modernizing land records. In today's lecture, we will explore how this process works, why it's crucial, and what it means for governance, development, and citizens. By the end of this session, you will understand the concepts and importance of digitizing and modernizing land records. You will learn about some key technologies and methods used globally and in India. You will explore the benefits and challenges of digital land record system and analyze solutions to overcome these obstacles. Let's begin with a deeper understanding of what digitization and modernization of land records mean and why they are essential. What is digitization? Digitization in general is a process of storing data in digital, that is in computer readable format. Digitization of any record is viewed as important as it saves space needed to store analogous forms such as files, registers, as digital data can fit into smaller devices. Digital data is tamper-proof data which can be stored, searched, retrieved, manipulated, and sent over the network. So it's easy for us to have digital format data. While modernization goes beyond this concept of making records in digital format, it refers to the process of making records easily accessible and usable. It is the process of making centralized system of land records. That is, modernization of land records means using modern technology and systems to make land records accurate, accessible, and transparent at the same time. Think of it as upgrading the old, often paper based records into a digital format to reduce errors, prevent disputes, and make it easier for people to access information about their land. What does it involve? It involves digitization, that is, scanning old land records and converting them into digital database. Survey and mapping, using tools like GPS, drones, or satellite images to create precise maps of land parcels. The third thing is integration, linking land records with property registration systems to ensure consistency. The fourth one is transparency, allowing citizens to access these records online and thereby reducing corruption and delays. The next one is security, protecting data with advanced systems to prevent tampering or loss of the data. Overall, the goal is to make land record system more efficient, user-friendly and reliable, benefiting both the government and the landowners. Let's look at what are the historical challenges of traditional land record systems. Traditionally, as you may know, at this stage that land records were created for revenue generation purposes, and hence records are fiscal in nature and presumptive in character, and they were managed manually using paper based systems. While these systems worked for centuries, the issue with such systems or such records is that these records could not reflect the ground reality. In this section, we will briefly discuss the challenges of traditional land records, such as inaccuracy of records. So, traditionally, land surveys were done manually, often using outdated tools and techniques. Over time, these records were not regularly updated to reflect changes in the sales, inheritance, or subdivision of land. This led to discrepancies between what was on paper and the reality on the ground. According to a study by Bangalore based organization called as Daksh, land and property cases amount to two-thirds of all pending civil lawsuits in the country, most of them because of unupdated and unsynced land records. The next thing or next challenge about the traditional land record systems is inefficiency and delays. Since records were stored physically, accessing or updating them required significant time and effort. For example, someone trying to verify ownership would have to visit multiple government offices. This inefficiency caused delay in land transactions, project approvals, and even court cases related to land disputes. Frequent land disputes. Traditional land records were difficult to update to reflect the ground realities, making them inaccurate. Such records failed to bring clarity in ownership, paving ways for land disputes. Land disputes became a major burden for the legal systems in our country, with often dragging many cases for multiple years. Now let's look at importance of land records or modernization of those records in India. Land records are a prerequisite for establishing secure land titles. However, the inherent challenges discussed above in traditional land records, coupled with the vulnerability of such records to disasters and fraud, as well as lack of transparency, underscore the urgent need for adopting modern technology driven solutions to ensure accuracy, accessibility, and reliability in land management. The fraudulent land records, they have other repercussions such as it stalls and delays public infrastructure projects because of difficulties in land acquisition and challenges in retrieving data related to land ownership. Land disputes caused by the fraudulent records lead to social unrest and threat to law and order. Land disputes discourage investment as well. Disputed land ownerships also reduce revenue of the public authorities coming from property taxes and registration fees. Hence, governments consistently initiate projects and policies which will allow strengthening of these records. Technological innovations and evolution have provided solutions to strengthen the land records. The journey to improve land records started in India in 1987-88 through something called as strengthening of revenue administration and updating land records scheme. This scheme was formulated on the basis of a study of DC Vadva committee and suggested conclusive titling system and use of technology to make textual and spatial records compatible with each other. This initiated the modernization efforts in India. This scheme was enhanced as National Land Record Modernization Program in 2008. As of December 2015, the NLRMP has been formally included under umbrella of Digital India Initiative, and it has been renamed as the Digital India Land Records Modernization Program, or DILRMP. The aim was to digitize land records, develop cadastral maps, and update registration documents, thereby advancing towards conclusive titling by offering comprehensive information on land records in India. This highlights the importance of modernizing land records, especially in India. Now, let's look at the kind of process of digitization which was involved here. The process of digitizing and modernizing land records is a significant advancement in land management systems. It involves the application of modern technologies and systematic methods to create secure, accurate, and easily accessible digital land records. Let's break this process into its key components and understand them step by step. First one is land records survey and mapping. This is the foundation of digitizing land records. It focuses on gathering accurate data about land parcels, their boundaries, and ownership using advanced surveying tools and technologies. Tools such as drones. Drones are unmanned aerial vehicles. They are equipped with high resolution cameras and sensors. They capture aerial imagery that provides detailed, accurate, and high resolution views of land. Drones are particularly useful for mapping rural or inaccessible areas. For example, in India, under the Swamitva scheme, drones are used to map rural Abadi areas. GPS technology. Global Positioning Systems, or GPS technology, is used to pinpoint exact location of land parcels with high precision. This ensures that boundaries and coordinates are clearly defined and they are accurate. Satellite imageries. Satellite captures images of large areas, providing data on land use, vegetation, and urbanization. These images are particularly useful for large scale mapping, such as regional or national projects. Together, these tools improve the accuracy of land records and reduce disputes related to land boundaries. The next component is data entry and database creation. Once land survey data is collected, it needs to be organized and digitized into a comprehensive database. Physical records digitization. Traditional paper based land records, such as property deeds, ownership details, and tax receipts, are scanned and converted into digital formats. These records are standardized to ensure uniformity across all entries. The next component is integration with GIS. GIS, like a smart map, that not only shows you locations like Google Maps but also lets you connect that location with tons of useful information. It's a system that helps us collect, store, analyze, and display geographic data. GIS also allows spatial data like maps to be linked with textual data like ownership and survey numbers. This integration creates a dynamic digital map where users can click on a land parcel and retrieve all related details. The third component in the system is integration with advanced technologies. To make the digitized systems more secure, efficient, and transparent, cutting edge technologies are integrated into the process. For example, blockchain technology. Blockchain technology, like digital ledger or a record book, where every transaction, every change is recorded. Each entry is connected to the one before it, forming something like a chain of records, and hence the name blockchain. Blockchain ensures that land records are secure and they are tamper proof. In a blockchain, each transaction or change is recorded in a centralized ledger that cannot be altered. This eliminates the possibility of fraud or unauthored modifications. Imagine blockchain as a digital lock on each land record. Every time a change is made, like selling or inheriting the land, it gets recorded in a way that everyone in the network can verify, but no one can change without any authorization. Artificial intelligence is also being used in this particular sector. AI enhances the efficiency of managing land records by automating certain processes, detecting errors, and analyzing data patterns. For example, AI can identify inconsistencies between physical surveys and existing land records. It can flag potential disputes based on overlapping claims, and it can help in automating certain stuff, such as it can automate repetitive tasks like updating land records after mutation or ownership changes. AI is being used to generate comprehensive digital land ownership maps by combining data of cadastral records, property deeds, and legal documents. By integrating technologies like drones, GPS, GIS, blockchain, and AI, governments and organizations are creating systems that are accurate, secure, and accessible, ultimately benefiting both the landowners and the administrators. Let's think about the technological advancements. Technological advancements in evolution of land digitization initiatives in India are now being described. The progression of policy initiatives in India for modernization of land records shows the technology has advanced over time to modernize existing land records and the management of them. Computerization of land record schemes in 1988 was the initial step. It focused on converting physical land records into digital formats. The technology was basic, involving only digitization of cadastral maps. In the NLRMP, or the National Land Records Modernization Program of 2008, it introduced more advanced tools like Total Station. Total Station is a survey instrument for accurate measurements. It also introduced GPS, or Global Positioning System, to ensure precise location of data. Aerial photography was used. Aerial photography can capture large scale images for mapping. This step aimed to improve the accuracy of land data and make land record keeping more reliable. In 2016, the Digital India Land Development Record Modernization Program, or DILRMP, expanded the scope of NLRMP by creating georeference cadastral maps. That is, maps were also linked to the real world coordinates, using GIS to integrate spatial data with land records. Then they introduced drones for high resolution mapping. This was a significant leap forward in modernizing and digitizing the land records by keeping spatial data accurate. The Swamitva scheme of 2021 introduced cutting edge technologies. Drone surveying for detailed mapping of rural properties happened under this particular scheme. Then, with Survey of India introducing CORS, or continuously operating reference stations, by which we can obtain real time high precision location data. We also are using remote sensing and GIS at a higher rate to create detailed and accurate maps. This scheme specifically focused on rural Abadi areas, helping villagers get legal ownership of their properties. In 2023, initiatives like Alpin, or Unique Land Parcel Identification Number, was introduced. It was done so that every land will have a unique ID, and very similar to our Aadhaar number, the land could be identified easily. Matrubhumi portal was developed so that it enabled nationwide access and compilation of land records. It introduced blockchain technology to secure land records and ensure transparency, preventing any kind of fraud. All these things have resulted in creation of accurate GIS maps of every parcel and integrated these with national databases. The journey from basic digitization in 1998 to sophisticated technologies like blockchain, drones, and GIS in 2023 highlights India's consistent efforts in modernizing the land records. Now, let's see what are the benefits of these things. Digitizing and modernizing land records bring a range of benefits. The first one could be transparency and security. By reducing frauds and ensuring legitimate ownerships through conclusive titling, we can manage transparency and security of land records. The second advantage is ease of access. Instead of we running to different offices, now we can access our land records online without any bureaucratic hurdles. You don't have to ask anyone how to do this. You can just go online. The third advantage is dispute resolution. Updated and accurate records, they are resulting into reduction of disputes and legal cases. Fourth one is economic growth, facilitating real estate and agriculture investments easily by having reliable records. It also enables financial institutes to provide required credits using land as a collateral. The fifth advantage is effective governance. Overall, these things provide reliable data for planning infrastructure, housing, and resource management. But is it without any challenges? No. So let's look at what are the challenges in modernizing these records. Along with benefits, digitization and modernization of land records, they face several challenges. Broader set of challenges are listed here. One of them is higher cost of technologies such as having drones and GIS coupled with need of trained personnel to manage and interpret digital systems, as well as infrastructure gaps such as poor internet connectivity can hamper the process of modernizing and digitizing land records. In case of India, there are challenges highlighted by the policy brief of Indian Institute of Human Settlements. They are such as legal implications and acceptance of such records. Aiming of adopting a conclusive titling by these modernized initiatives or land records needs robust mechanism for resolving disputes, correcting errors, and ensuring legal backing for the processes like e-stamping to make digital record legitimate. To make these technological advancement initiatives successful, there is need of comprehensive understanding of revenue systems in each state because all of them may have different processes. Solutions to tackle these challenges can be found in initiatives such as capacity building and training of government staff and local officials in digital systems. Collaboration with private technology companies for cost effective solutions could be another one. Adapting technologies to meet local needs and incorporating customary practices into modern systems is also essential. We cannot ignore them. Now, let's try and understand the impact of these modernization initiatives through some of these cases. Karnataka's Bhumi project. Have you heard of it? This particular project, initiated in 2000, or has been pioneering effort in digitizing land records in Karnataka. It is serving as a model for other states. This initiative computerized over 20 million land records, providing farmers with efficient access to their records and reducing bureaucratic delays. The success of Bhumi significantly influenced the design and implementation of Digital India Land Records Modernization Program. Digitization has made land records more accessible to the public, reducing or potential for corruption and increasing transparency. By doing that, it is able to streamline the processes of mutation and reduce the number of disputes. The next one is definitely the Swamitva scheme. Swamitva scheme in Madhya Pradesh has been significant. It has taken significant steps to digitize and modernize rural land records, enhancing transparency and reducing disputes. The state adopted drone surveying technology for precise mapping, supported by stakeholder meetings at the village level to educate and to prepare communities for these kinds of surveys. To ensure accuracies, lime powder or chuna marking was done to demarcate land parcels, followed by ground truthing and error correction of the draft maps. Key technological initiatives include SARA or Survey of India Automated Records Abhilekh, a platform for managing survey process including maps uploaded, ROR or records of rights, their tagging and data validation. The next key technology is RCMS or Revenue Case Management System. It is being used for dispute resolution, case registration, and finalizing records. To raise awareness, the government conducted awareness campaigns including pamphlet distributions and short video films. They also used jingles and hoardings to inform villagers about the process and benefits of this particular scheme. These efforts resulted in the distribution of records of rights or RORs to the landowners, with 51 villages receiving property cards in October 2020. Alongside, the state launched initiatives such as georeference maps, blockchain technology for secure transactions, and the Madhya Pradesh Bhulek portal for accessible and transparent land records. So, to conclude, digitization and modernization of land records are transformative steps towards transparent, secure, and efficient land governance. Advanced technologies like GIS, blockchain, and drones ensure accuracies and trust in land markets. Programs like DILRMP, Swamitva, they showcase India's progress in modernizing land records. While there is a progress, there are several challenges in modernizing records, such as high cost, need for trained personnels, infrastructure gaps, as well as legitimacy of such records and acceptance by the society, especially by marginalized communities. These challenges can be tackled by strategies such as capacity building, public private partnerships, adopting location specific approaches, and raising awareness. I encourage you to explore digital tools such as GIS and familiarize yourself with initiatives like DILRMP and Swamitva. Understanding these systems is key to shaping the future of land governance and contributing to the equitable development. Thank you.